Oh, hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again, and check this out. Are y'all sick of the coronavirus yet? Cause I'm definitely am. I'm just ready to get back to normal life and um, not have to worry about it. How about that? I'm just hoping that they rectify the situation and control it, get rid of it, whatever situation is. So we get back to normal life, because everything being shut down and we can't even watch the NBA, the XFL season, inaugural season got cut short. And I know it sucks for those players, but at least they're getting paid for the rest of the season, at least. But I did want to see that. I wanted to see who would have won the season. It just kind of puts a damper on everything. So, but enough about that crap. The NFL. So the NFL has been going back and forth about how they're going through things going forward in the midst of this coronavirus. But as we know that the CBA finally, as of last night, finally passed. Interesting that it passed though, because there's a lot of players that came out and just showed their dislike, so to speak, to the whole situation, how they just didn't want it and things of that nature, and they don't want the 17 game season and blah blah blah. It affects more so the guys on the lower end of the tier, because those are the ones, the guys that really want it, because they want their money. You know what I mean? Because the players has been in the league for a long time. They done made their money, so they can vote against certain things like that, and they're like, look, we don't want 17 game season, we don't want prolonged playoff and all that other stuff, but it's really for the fans and things of that nature. I know that a lot of the players don't like it, but if you guys didn't like it, I was told that it was 500 players that didn't even vote for the damn CBA. So it's just like the regular election for president. If you don't vote, how the hell you expected to be a factor? You know what I'm saying? So you got to vote. If you didn't want it, you should have voted. More people said they wanted it than didn't. So that's just how it works. Unanimously, it passed. So, the players that went on Instagram and Twitter and voiced their opinion, look, if you're not in a union, you can't say nothing. If you didn't vote, you can't say nothing. So it is what it is. As we know, around the league, things are happening. Free agency is about to go down this week, so that's one thing to look forward to. Those of you that are not working because of coronavirus this week, at least you got something to look at or to look forward to, because the free agency frenzy is happening this week. The deadline is, what is it, tonight, tomorrow, whatever, for a franchise tag. So this is how it affects the Dallas Cowboys. Now, before I get into that, I just want to say that Calais Campbell, he got traded from the Jaguars to the Baltimore Ravens. I know a lot of people personally that love that situation. I personally love Calais Campbell. I love everything about him. I think he's a cool dude. He's a funny guy. He's a great defensive tackle. I think that he's going to be good for the Ravens, and the Ravens are already a good team. He just made their defense even better on that front line. Now, I would have loved to have him with Dallas Cowboys, but that's neither here nor there. So he was traded to the Ravens. I forgot, it's a draft pick and something else, but I think it's like a 2-year contract. He's gonna get like $13 million a year. So shout out to Calais Campbell for that. Also, the Titans signed Ryan Tannehill, 4-year deal, $118 million. 29.5 mil yearly, and 91 million guaranteed. So he's gonna cash out. Before you guys start saying, "Oh, well, why can't Dak Prescott take that?" Because Dak Prescott is on a different standard than what Tannehill is. Tannehill was a backup guy, and he came in and did some things for the Titans, and they chose to re-sign him. Now, who knows if he's going to keep the job or not? We don't know what they're going to do with Mariota, if they're going to trade Mariota, if his contract is up. I don't know if that is the case. I got to look that up. But if they're just going to let him go and make Tannehill the guy. But, let's be honest with you, Derrick Henry was their key thing. So they also have to re-sign Derrick Henry. So Cowboys aren't the only team that has things going on. Titans got their thing. all the teams in our divisions got their things going on. So I mean, it's going to be crazy for all 32 teams this offseason. Now that I said the CBA approved, so most of this stuff is going to happen for next season, not for this season, but things that work out right now. So you look at they approved for a 17 game. Excuse me. They approved for a 17 game season, expanded playoffs, and it will take effect 2021, so next season, and run through the 2030 season. About 2,500 players in the union. 79.1% of the players voted on the new CBA, and the salary cap is going up to 198.2 million. So that's about roughly 10 mil up from what we had before. So that's going to help all teams as far as getting their numbers and stuff up. Now, the expanded playoff is supposed to take effect this season, at the end of this season, which will allow 2 more teams to get into the tournament. And it's gonna up your chances to make it to the playoffs, guys. How about that? So there's no reason why the Cowboys can't make it to the playoffs this year. Should be no excuses, none. But as far as the 17-game season, that's not going to happen until next season. So they're going to go through that next offseason and figure that thing out and figure out whether they want to have 2 bye weeks within the year or whatever the situation may be. Because of the expanded season, it's going to shorten the preseason schedule. So instead of going for 4 preseason games, you're going to have 3 or 2, depending on the situation. Now, as of right now, I think we still have 4. But the Cowboys have 5 because we are playing in the Hall of Fame game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That news came out last week. So we still have 5. So for next year, it would drop down to 3, which would mean 4 if you go to the Hall of Fame game. So it's just one less game. Like I said, I know some of these players are like, especially the older players, they're like, look, man, I ain't even trying to do all that. I'm just trying to play, get my money, get up out of here, bro. That's how some of the older cats think. But the younger guys like, hey, more games, more checks, more money. So that's how the younger guys think. The guys that are on the back end of the roster, things of that nature. And there's going to be things put in place for practice squad players to make more money too. I think another thing is, I think you can designate a guy. Say if a guy's on your practice squad, right? You know how like players had to clear waivers before? So I think what they're going to do is, when you bring a guy up and you pay him that little bit extra to be on a 53-man roster, if something happens, somebody gets injured or they want to put another guy out there and they take that guy and put him back on the practice squad, they don't have to wait for him to clear waivers. They can immediately put him back on the practice squad. So that's going to help as well. Right. As far as Dallas Cowboys, they got a lot to think about right now. And the CBA is not necessarily helping them right now with the contract with Dak Prescott for one key reason. Before this, with the old CBA from 2011, you were allowed to basically use the franchise tag and a transition tag, which would have been perfect for Dallas Cowboys because they could have franchised Dak and they could have transition tag Amari Cooper, and then they could have re-signed Byron Jones to an actual contract if they wanted to. But it don't even seem like they even want Byron Jones because they don't even talk about him, which is a damn shame to me. But I already talked about that. I'm not gonna get into that. But as we talk about this team right now, you got to figure out what you're going to do with Dak. Now, it looks like they're leaning forward to the franchise tag for him, unfortunately. I hate that they would have to do that, but you got to figure out that because you got to re-sign Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper was making $13.1 million, so I don't think that he's necessarily trying to break the bank, but I know if you look at the wide receiver and him being a top 10 receiver in his league, I think he's like number 7 or something like that, 7 or 8. But you look at him being a top 10 guy, his contract could be pretty much, so to speak. But Amari really wants to be here, so maybe him and his agent could try to work something out, trying to figure that out. But they got to sign him by Wednesday because that's the opening of free agency. Now, I don't know if they're pushing back dates or whatever the situation is. I don't know if they're going to push it back or keep it the same date. We're still trying to figure that out. I was trying to look some things up, but I didn't see anything as far as that goes. But as of right now, they got to sign him before halfway through this week because he's going to become a free agent and somebody's going to scoop him up right away because there's teams like the Eagles that want him. Same thing with Byron Jones, but I think they're okay with letting Byron Jones walk for whatever reason, but that's that. Because you still got to have a replacement for these guys if you let them go. Now, Dak Prescott is definitely going to be the quarterback of this team. So it just looks like they're probably going to have to franchise tag him and not even really use the franchise tag. Just use it for the point of so he can't talk to another team and ultimately get signed by another team. It's really for him to get that tag so they can have more time to work out the new deal. Now, we talked about the $33 million per year, 105 guaranteed. I'm not sure if they denied that, but his agent is really playing hardball right now. So that's one thing. Now you look at the situation, it's like, okay, what are they gonna do? They gotta figure something out. So my guess is, shoot, just do something. Like you gotta do something. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But we'll find out tomorrow and throughout this week what's going to happen because you got those guys to get signed and then you got to figure out what to do with everybody else. Dallas Cowboys are going to be busy for the next 10 to 24 to 48 hours. They're going to be busy. So I know they're working on things right now. It's Sunday. Yeah, they're going to have to figure it out. So... Oh, and I know you guys are restless of talking about. I mean, it's hard. It's a tough thing to deal with. It's a tough thing to talk about because, again, what can you do? As a fan, we just got to sit back and watch and see what happens. That's all we can do. But in the meantime, between time, thanks again to all my subscribers. I appreciate you guys. You guys have been awesome. Some of you guys are assholes too. But it is what it is. I appreciate it all. I appreciate it all. Because whether you like me or you don't, whether you like my video or you dislike it, for those of you that do like my videos, right? I just wanted to say for you guys, I guess I appreciate that too, because even if you dislike it, it still helps the channel. But whatever, I don't know how. I never understood that, but it does. You dislike it, you obviously, I've never disliked a YouTube video ever, because I feel like if I didn't like the video, I just don't look at it, but whatever, hey, you obviously still follow me, so you like something. Oh, troll mentality, I never understood it. But anyway, it's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a great Sunday.